Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Introducing Triple J Trail Mix with another episode. This week on the agenda, we had a bit of a mix-up in the trail mix because we thought that we were doing best and worst video games or best and worst books made into movies. So you were gonna get a taste of both. And speaking of that, uh, speaking of that, we are also going to be doing a new bit called Best and Worst. So, speaking of mix-ups, how about that flavor?
Yeah.
I was doing a intro off the fly, and it worked until I realized I forgot to, but we're leaving it anyway. Forget this.
leaving
We're,
it
we're
in.
leaving it. It's good. It's good. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this will be a pretty fun bit that we're gonna be doing because we can do best and worst anything. So you should stay tuned for this one in the future, or let us know in the comments what best and worst things you'd like us to go over. Hopefully, you'll have some pretty creative ideas. But we. Oh no.
Oh no!
Anyways,
Oh no.
I dropped something off my desk. Anyways,
Oh, no.
enough with this intro. It is pretty brutal in here, but anyway, back to you, JT, in sports.
In sports, great.
Yes, in sports.
In sports, I don't know any sport books that turned into movies.
They don't have to be. It doesn't have to be. But
No, I
you
know.
can start us off with the sports.
Yeah, sports. Okay. Man, that one threw me for a loop. That's not where I was prepared to go with that.
Wonderful.
That should be you should be used to that by now.
I should be used to that by now. I need to go off the fly. Oh man. Probably I mean, one of my personal favorite like sports movies, I guess. I don't know if I would qualify it as the best one, but I've always just enjoyed it. Was The Blind Side? Did you guys ever see that movie?
Oh, that's a
Oh
great.
no, I was just kidding about the sports. I was just kidding.
Oh, I'm rolling with it. I'm totally rolling with it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Yes.
So,
Blind
I
Side
mean,
is a
why
great
not?
movie.
That is a good movie, yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. I don't know if it's widely considered as like one of the best ones, but I always thought it was just like very well done.
Yeah, that one was the first one of those movies that I actually saw. Like from that company, I forget what they're called, but
I couldn't tell you.
their movies are really good. I actually watched Flywheel, which I think that one came out
yeah.
before.
That's the first one.
Yeah, it came
That's
out
the first
before
Sherwood
the.
films.
Yeah, that's what they're called, Sherwood Films. It came out before the Blind Side, but Blind Side was the first one.
No, hold on.
Or
I
maybe
think
no. There was
you're
one more.
confusing that with Facing the Giants.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Facing the Giants is the one.
Ooh,
I
that
saw.
was a
That
good
one was
one.
the first.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
You're good.
That okay. Never mind. Yeah.
Basically, The Giants was another great sports movie.
Mm-hmm.
So was Remember the Titans. Did you guys ever see that one?
Yep. Yep.
I never saw that one.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
I was
phenomenal.
I was a super big on sports movies. My dad was, but I wasn't really.
Yeah.
Actually, I got it.
Mm-hmm.
The best sports movie franchise,
Oh, geez.
Rocky.
I haven't seen those movies.
Okay. All right. Yeah. There we go.
There we go. That's it.
That's it. I was. Yeah. I'm trying to think through my sports movies history. I do really, really, really like Remember the Titans, and I do really like Rocky as well.
I get
Uh,
Remember the Titans and Mighty Duck, the Mighty Ducks or
okay.
whatever mixed up.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why. I haven't seen
They're
either. I
pretty
don't think.
similar.
Oh,
They're pretty
okay,
similar.
then that's probably
Um,
why.
yeah. If we're gonna include Rocky, I should make an honorable mention of the movie Warrior. Have y'all seen that movie?
Mm-mm.
I don't think so. No.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's an MMA movie.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
interesting.
It's got Tom Hardy and what's his name? Oh, what's his name?
Tom Tardy.
No, it's oh man, it's on the tip of the tongue. He played in the Great Gatsby movie with Leonardo
Oh,
DiCaprio.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No,
Oh, Toby Maguire.
no, none of those.
Joel
Ah,
Edgerton.
yes, Joel Egerton. He's in it. So it's him and Tom Hardy. They play as brothers.
Oh
Who?
wait.
Yeah,
I remember that movie. I did see that movie.
yes, it's good because they both enter this like championship for like a money prize, and they both have really really good reasons for doing it, and
Mm.
so yeah, it's I mean I love it. It's so good. It's great action, great like sports on it, but then also it's an amazing story background
It's an amazing story about what?
in the background.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm looking through these. Oh my lord, I'm looking through all these movies based on books. I mean, there's so many. Jeez. Okay, I'm just gonna have to go with the top of my head, honestly.
The top of your head.
Yeah. Okay, so going into our, actual first category, uh,
Yes, please.
best and worst movies that are based on books.
Movies
Um,
that are based on books.
so I mean, things to think about with this. At least that's what I'm coming up with. Is that I'm gonna be talking about like when it comes to my turn, I'm gonna be talking about like my favorite movies just as a movie, and then
Mhm.
also there's some that I've watched the movie and read the book, and I'm talking about more of the adaptation rather than the film itself.
Mhm.
Um,
Okay.
so yeah, we can go at it those two ways, I guess.
All right.
Go ahead, JT.
Well, I guess if we're going off of it with those two, probably one of my, and sorry if I steal either one of your thunder here, probably one of my all-time favorite like movie that was based on a book, kind of like that first, like just as the movie standalone, is the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, no, I figured I would steal at least one of yours.
yeah, kind of.
That's the first one that came to my mind.
Yeah, I mean, because it was so well done.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
kind of hard to top that.
very true. I think it did a really good job of also adapting as well.
As
Like,
adapting. Oh yeah. To the
yeah,
screen. Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, it did the perfect way of staying true to the books and not changing anything from the books, but
Yeah.
also it made up for a lot of I guess the internal like the thoughts, the
Mhm.
thought talk
Yeah.
in the books. That's what a lot of movie adaptation films have to deal with because there's a lot of internal perspective that the reader has inside the main character's mind that
Mhm.
isn't necessarily expressed on the outside. So you have to try and make
Right.
up for some of that somehow.
Yeah.
But Lord of the Rings did a really good job of doing that,
Yeah, I thought I did a really good job.
especially for the grandiosity of those books. They did a good. They made a good decision to make them so long.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They did a what to make them so what?
long. Like
Yeah.
like the movies, they were a lot longer than.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's standard. Yeah. Yeah. The
Mhm.
extended edition is the only edition I'll watch.
Oh yeah,
Extended edition. Yeah.
for sure.
I actually don't know. Because the first time I saw it, I thought that that I watched it. I was like, I never saw this scene before. What is this? And then I realized, wait, there's more scenes in this one opposed to this one. And that's the first day I realized what a a special edition was. It wasn't the extended; it was just a special one.
Oh,
And then I discovered the extended edition, and I was like, holy cow, there's more.
there's even more.
Yeah.
But wait, there's more.
But wait. All right, Billy Mays.
Oh boy.
Um, but you know one that I also thought about that was just very well done. It's an older movie and a
Mhm.
much older book.
Yep.
But To Kill a Mockingbird.
I did
Yeah.
see that one. My parents got it, and uh, I didn't know. I mean, I just read the book, but I didn't know how I'd feel about watching the movie. It was actually really good.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty spot on from what I can remember. I mean, it's been a couple years since I've both read and watched it, but
Mhm.
Hmm.
I thought it was pretty spot on as far
Yeah.
as that goes, and for being made in I don't know when it came. I mean, it was black and white, so I mean, it was pre-color television. So
60s, I
Hmm.
think. Early
the what?
60s, I think. It came out in the early 60s, I think.
Ah, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, and so like for the
Yep.
filmography of it was pretty spot on for that day and age.
Oh, for sure. It definitely captured the heart of that novel.
Oh yeah,
And especially for the time period and like a lot of the themes they explored, going along with the time period that this movie was released, it was pretty, I mean, it's pretty ahead of its time.
Hmm.
pretty revolutionary. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was one of the first movies to like really do the book
Mm-hmm.
justice or something like
Yeah.
that went exact or was one of the more like modern time movies. I don't remember, but I did a lot of presentations on this in school, but I still remember. But
Yeah.
uh, it was one of the movie was like the first. I don't know. It was something about the plot was better. I mean, different. I think, or the way it was set up. But yeah. Anyway,
Anyways, so those were kind of the two that had been floating around in my mind. So I'll kick it off to Jackie.
oh, okay, books to movies. I'll go over some of the worst ones I know. Aragon,
Oh yeah.
that one. Gosh, that movie
Ooh.
frustrated me so much. And then
Yeah.
there's Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Hey, son.
Right, because I loved both of those
Ah,
book series
And
so
then
much.
they
hey,
completely killed the thing. I
oh my
watched
gosh.
a YouTube video of Rick Riordan commenting on what he thought of the script,
Oh my
and
lord.
he was like, "This is awful." And then
Hmm.
they still just went with it. And
Yeah.
so
I
that like he did not get any word in on the script, and he hated what they came up with. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I actually kind of liked the first Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
Like that
That
was
one is
okay.
decent.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a good movie, but like compared to the book, it was nowhere like even
Yes.
close to good. But yeah, I
Yeah.
see what you're
Exactly.
saying. That's what I thought of the Aragon movie too. It's like it's not a bad movie, but if you know what was happened in the book,
Hmm.
Right.
It's a very
Then
much of a letdown.
agreed.
Yeah. Admittedly, I haven't read the Aragon book series yet. I'm
Bruh.
working on that. I know. I know. Um, uh, Joy's brother has them on audiobook, so they're on my list. Um, and then right now we're listening through the Heroes of Olympus series, so like the sequel series for Percy Jackson,
Oh yeah. Okay.
and on audiobook, and oh my gosh, it's so nice. But yeah, I grew up reading the Percy Jackson books, and it was fantastic. The original five books.
Right.
Which that also makes me so excited for the show, the Percy Jackson show that they're coming out for Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's news to
Yes.
me.
Yes, they've announced they're working on it, and Rick Riordan is like point man on it, and he said that
Mm-hmm.
it will be more dedicated to the books.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
I heard something about that, but I think it was back when it was just rumors and there
Mhm.
wasn't anything solid for it.
Oh yeah, it's officially in development now, and I think definitely going with a TV show format would be a lot better.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Which I mean, yeah, that while we're on this, I will echo what you were saying, JT. Of like the first Percy Jackson movie is very decent. And like what y'all were saying that it doesn't follow the book as well, but it does what it was kind of trying to do. It does it pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
The second one though, oh my gosh, it was trash, man.
Oh, that was horrible.
It
Well,
started
they
off
try to
good.
recover. They try to recover from their mistakes in the first one, and they just mixed
Yeah,
everything up, and it
no,
made no
honestly,
sense.
they like it started out good. It started out really good because then I was remembering all this stuff from like when I read the second book. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then
Hmm.
like halfway into the movie, they decided to speed through, and the last half of the movie they speed through books, 3, 4, and 5, and then they kind of just wrap up everything. Because at the end they're fighting Kronos.
Hmm.
Spoiler alert, but I mean, it's not even. It's not.
Spoiler alert on
It's
a
not even.
movie. Yeah.
It's not even worthy to put a spoiler alert on this kind of movie. But, um, yeah. Anyways, they end up fighting Kronos in the end, and I'm like, this does not happen until way later on.
Yep.
It was so bad, so bad, so bad.
Mm.
Jeez. Cool. JT, what would be your worst? What's on your worst?
Um. Ooh. Uh. But I mean, I was thinking of the Aragon series of the movie, well, the book to movie, because I can't really think of. I mean, I know they're out there, but I just don't think I've seen enough other adaptations to really. I mean,
I
unless you want to go like, I mean, maybe
I
kind of
heard
like
there
the.
was another Aragon movie, wasn't there?
I will do a
I
quick
don't know.
Or
research.
I think it was supposed to happen, and then COVID happened, and it got screwed up.
I don't
But
know.
maybe I'm imagining things. But sorry, what were you saying, JT?
Um. Unless you want to count like the Hunger Games.
Oh
Um.
yeah.
Like I mean, I thought they were halfway decent,
Hmm.
but I mean,
Oh
that's
yeah.
not necessarily my style.
Yeah.
hmm I personally I really like the Hunger Games movies. They're pretty good. I honestly I've only read the first book, but I've watched all of the movies. They're really good. I think at least especially the first one, it captured the just that empty feeling, that horrifying feeling of like what was happening.
Hmm.
Right.
Like what they were doing to the kids and stuff. It was yeah. But what's interesting is that they one thing that I do uh, well something that I noticed that they left out of the movie when that was in the book
Hmm.
was the you guys remember, have y'all read the book,
Nope.
the first one? Okay, I think it's been a while. I need to probably watch the movie again. I'm now second guessing myself, but in the book they in the book they kind of allude to the fact that those creatures were made from the dead bodies of the fallen tributes, that they were like
Hmm.
they recycled the bodies and mutated them and turned them into those creatures to let loose, because
Yeah.
they in the book
That.
they said that they noticed the eyes were exactly the same as the other people they had
Uh,
fought.
I don't
But
think
yeah,
I even thought of that.
yeah, you're
Yeah,
good.
I remember that.
That was something that stuck with me, that was kind of disturbing, and I was like, man. But then when I watched the movie, it kind of they didn't touch on that at all. But
Yeah.
anyways, but other than that, it was great. I think it captured the heart. But I think if you're talking about like direct adaptation,
Hmm. Hmm.
it was okay.
It was okay.
Yeah. Which I
Oh
mean,
yeah, it was
again,
definitely.
we'd have to say like the whole adaptation process from book to film, it's you're gonna have to leave stuff out, of course, because I mean they're different mediums.
Yeah. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things about doing this is because like you can appreciate both mediums even though like it didn't directly translate,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
from one to the other, but you could
Yeah.
still they could still both be good.
For
Oh
sure,
yeah, definitely.
definitely.
So,
Cool. Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Jordan.
No, yeah, you go ahead.
No, I was literally gonna say, okay, it's now your turn.
Okay, cool. So, okay, all right. Let's see. I'm gonna go through a few.
Oh boy.
My worst for book movies. I would say what frustrated me most was the Percy Jackson movies. So that would be my worst. I would agree with you guys. For doing things well, I have two movies. I think, yeah, two movies.
Wait,
In
3?
mind. No. I'd say three. Let's do 3.
Mhm.
Yeah. So one of them obviously would be Lord of the Rings. I mean, it's just a
All right. I was
masterpiece.
like, how do you have 3 without Lord of the Rings? But now you're counting Lord of the Rings. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. No, it's I can't say much on the Harry Potter movies because I've only seen the movies. I haven't read the books. Um, and then, but then let's see the other two movies. Okay, one wasn't a good adaptation of the book, but I'm glad it didn't. Um, and that movie is V for Vendetta.
oh,
Ooh.
So, because I read no, never mind. I watched the movie first, and then I read the graphic novel.
mm,
And the graphic novel is great. It's very powerful, and it's but the thing is that uh, in the transition between the second and third act of the graphic novel, it kind of gets convoluted, and there's a lot of different subplots that you have to keep track of.
mhm,
But what the movie, I like the movie better because it kind of streamlines the whole plot.
mhm.
It just keeps what is most meaningful and most important to everything,
Right.
and it does it really well. It cut out a lot of side characters, and it mainly focused on the main idea of what they were going for with like V and Evie and all that stuff. So I think that one's a good one.
So
Honor what?
I was gonna say, so I didn't realize that we were counting graphic novels, but I'll save that for a little bit later.
Okay, cool.
You
I
continue
was
to
gonna say like we I was gonna try and clarify like what exactly does book mean to us. Um, which I mean comic books I don't think count because there's literally so many of them and they're like uh
You would
it's
have
just
the
it's
whole Marvel
honestly
universe.
well I mean well see the Marvel movies would be like in the category of like the movies are great but in adaptation they change a ton to make them into movies.
That is
Oh,
true.
absolutely.
That is
But they do
true.
it well. But they do it well.
Mhm.
But if you're talking about straight adaptation, then they're very much on the bottom of the list. Um, okay, so then honorable mention would be Watchmen,
That was a good one.
because
I haven't read the book, so I wouldn't know. I thought of that one when you said the graphic novel. I was like, oh, Watchmen, but
yeah, because
haven't read it.
Watchmen was like it was like Dune. Both of those books or graphic novel were considered unfilmable.
Hmm.
Um, they were considered just. I mean, if anybody was going to try it, and it was going to be super super hard. And of course, like Zack Snyder tackled Watchmen, and I think story wise, he got the gist of it. It doesn't carry the same punch as the graphic novel does, but visually, he does an amazing job
Mhm.
of taking literally from the pages of the graphic novel onto screen, and it's perfect.
Right.
Did you
Yeah,
say Doom?
Dune, Dune,
Oh,
the
Dune. Oh,
the
okay.
new like movie.
I
Well,
thought you said Doom, and there's a movie with The Rock
yes.
from like 2004. And I was like, I didn't know Doom was a book, but then I was like, maybe he meant like the video game kind of thing.
That one's the
But
video game one.
okay, yeah. And I was like, that movie, I don't know. I mean, it's a good B movie, but I like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. No,
I mean, it's
the
definitely kind of cool that they did. It was the
yeah,
first, and we'll get into it later when
yeah,
we
we'll
go
get
to
into
the
it. We'll
video
get
game
into
one.
it. So yeah, so Dune was another movie that was considered unfilmable. Um, what's his name? David Lynch. David Lynch directed and made the '80s version of that movie, of the movie adaptation of that book.
Mhm,
And I mean, it's considered by the general population to be like, of course, like a mess because um, a lot of the concepts were ahead of the technology that they had during that time to make the
mhm,
movie, like putting it into visual form.
mhm,
Right. There's a lot of choppy stuff. I mean, I could go into detail about just the painstaking stuff that they went into to make that movie. Plus, they had to rearrange the whole storyline of. I'm talking about like they had to bring stuff from like the later books, to bring into for this adaptation of the first book, in order to make some sense of it. At least that's his style that he went for.
mhm.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then, of course, Denis Villeneuve um, made the most recent one, and he did an amazing job.
Yeah, I thought that
That
one was good.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, anyways, my top pick, the best book to film adaptation I've ever seen, and again, I'm talking about adaptation. Like the movies themselves would be Lord of the Rings. I'll give it that. But if you're talking about adaptation from book to screen, Ender's Game.
I did watch that one, but I haven't read the books. But I heard there
Yeah.
was a lot more that happened in the books, and they condensed Ender's Game. But
Yeah,
again, I haven't read the book, so I don't know.
you're good. The book is one of my favorite books of all time.
Wait, isn't there
It's
more than one? I mean,
yes,
isn't it like a? Oh, okay.
there's like a I think there's like four books that focus on Ender, the main character, and
Mhm,
then it kind of expands the universe with one of his friends on his adventures. Um, so there's a lot going on there.
mhm.
But oh my gosh, Ender's Game! I'm literally looking at it on my shelf right now, and it's yes, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, I loved it so much. I loved reading it. And then when I watched the movie, oh my gosh, like literally, I mean, of course, like probably a third of that book, or maybe even half of that book, is all like stuff that's going on in Ender's brain,
Mhm,
because you're kind of you're going with him as he's like analyzing everything.
mhm,
Um, and it's also kind of, there are forces in control, or they're in conflict on trying to control him. So um yeah, they focus in a lot of the psychological manipulation and stuff like that. But anyways,
mhm,
um of course they couldn't include that in the film, so that's why it was condensed. But oh my gosh, literally everything, all the important stuff, all the necessary stuff, all the good stuff, they did well in interpreting it into film. Oh my gosh, it is so good. But you know what the craziest thing is, and one of the things that make it stands out to me, is that there's a part of the book where, as Ender is in his, training academy that he's been sent to,
mhm,
um, there's a computer game that he, discovers and starts playing. You find out later that it's kind of been it's a tool used by some of the dark forces, the dark,
mhm,
organizations, to kind of get into his head. But
mhm,
so anyways, it's a very like fantastical, mystical game in the theme. But
mhm,
when I was reading through the book, and I was reading as he's like experiencing what's going on in the game, I had a picture of it in my head, right?
mhm,
But when I watched the movie and it had that, like, it showed him playing the game and whatnot,
mhm.
it was literally the same. It was the same visuals. It was the
Oh
same
wow!
like camera angles of everything, the
Dang,
perspectives, as I had imagined it when I read it. That
that's
was
awesome.
amazing. It was so good, so good. Oh my gosh! So that blew my mind when I watched that movie. It was amazing. So
I
yeah,
don't know if I've
it's
ever had something like that, but I thought the thing was like the with Lord of the Rings, I watched the movies first, and then when I read the books, I just imagined them, and they were like perfect for it.
mhm.
It was
Yes,
good. Yep.
definitely. Yep. I it would say dagnabbit. Yeah, it's the movie itself is not like a blockbuster. It's not, I mean,
Hmm.
anything great, movie wise, but in getting the good stuff and staying to the heart of the book, it's perfect for me.
Hmm.
It's, I mean, yeah, it's just good. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those would be my picks.
Cool. You want to
Yeah.
know? There's another honorable mention that I had totally forgotten about until just a minute ago.
You're good.
Um, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
I
I
haven't
mean,
read those books either.
I haven't read the books, so I can't speak with authority on those. But
Oh, that's fair. I'm
yeah,
getting confirmation from Faith over here that they were very well done because she has read them all and watched them all.
yeah.
So
I will definitely give it to Warner Brothers for doing their due diligence for those movies because if y'all don't know, that's why during that time DC movies weren't that great because Warner Brothers literally put most of their money into those movies.
Oh wow.
true.
Yeah, so I'll give it to them. I'm still a little bit stingy for them screwing up DC for that like decade,
Yeah,
but
that gives me a whole new reason to dislike Harry Potter now.
sorry, Faith. No, I mean the movies are great. I love those
I
Harry
actually haven't seen the
movies.
movies now that I think about it. I've only
Oh
seen
my
one
gosh!
because I had to watch
Okay,
it for
all right.
I had to watch
Next
it
time,
for
one of
my
the times that we're all together, we need to
class.
binge them.
I don't know. It's kind of like so many at this point.
Honestly, like yeah, I think when I watched the first one, I remember thinking like if I would have gotten into the books or even the movies when they came out and I was allowed to watch them or read them, which because I at that time I wasn't. But if I was allowed to, I would have totally been into it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was so cool. I like the whole world and everything. It's just that I've missed the boat, so I'm not as into it as I could have
Hmm.
been. Cool. Jackie, did you mention what your worst one was? Or you did. What was
I
your
did two
best
worst
one?
ones. Best ones.
Yeah.
It would have been of course Lord of the Rings, but um gosh, there was one. Oh, let me think. Because I was also thinking about of course like the classic ones like the Harry Potter and the Hunger Games and all stuff like that. There's one other one I think. Um, that was a fantasy one that was pretty good, but I unfortunately did not write these down because
You're good.
I
That's
was
all right.
thinking video games. But actually, I was yeah. But the gosh, there is one movie that was a fantasy movie. I don't know if it was a book or not. I feel like it was, but my friend
Okay.
showed it to me when we were in Kazakhstan. It's called Willow, and it's like really
Yes.
similar to Lord of the Rings in the sense of like fantasy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the main thing with it is it was like just one movie. There weren't any sequels, but they're actually making a series um, soon. I forget which platform it's on, but they're making another series. They're making a series out of it and continuing it, which is really interesting because it was done really well. But
Nice.
I think I'm pretty sure it is a book. Let me just look that up real quick.
Okay. I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot about those. I haven't seen
Oh,
or read
Neverending
any.
Story. Wasn't that a book?
Maybe.
I couldn't tell you.
Honestly, we could make a whole game show out of this. Be like, was it or was it not?
Was it or was it not?
Because I mean, I was looking through some of the list, and it was like Forrest Gump was based on a book, and The Devil Wears Prada was based on a book. I'm like, what in the world? I never
Man,
knew those.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah,
I didn't know what The Devil Wears Prada is was a book, but I didn't really
I mean, yeah, yeah. Get Jessica to show it to you. It's great. Unless she's not into those kind of movies, but I don't know.
I don't know. I
I
don't
was
really know what kind
introduced
of
to
movie
it
it is.
You're good. I was introduced to it by a girlfriend, so I mean that's the
Oh,
only
I
way
see,
that
I
I
see.
watched it. But it's good. It's a good movie. Cool. I'm glad nobody mentioned this one. Which now I can save it for just this dishonorable mention.
Dishonorable
Um,
mention.
yes. So this is the one where it's technically a movie to book,
Hmm.
but it is, and it's kind of regarded as like a pretty trashy done job,
Hmm.
which is Princess Bride.
Oh,
Mm.
Yep. The movie is perfection. It's
Oh, absolutely.
glorious. But the book, if you have read it, it's rather terrible.
I did not know. I thought it was the other way around.
Nope. The book actually came after the movie.
Very
interesting.
interesting.
I mean, that makes sense
Yeah.
though.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well,
But
what about now that you're kind of moving into books or a movie to book, what about Star Wars? Wasn't Star Wars a movie to book?
Oh yes, yes, yes. It was definitely
oh,
movie
for
to book.
sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it
what
was
I
it
thought.
was definitely like George Lucas. It literally sprang from his brain when he was planning to make the movie, and then yeah,
And then yeah,
then they
obviously now there's like tons of content mediums out there,
yeah,
but the original three
yeah,
was
and that's the
movies.
I mean, there's so many books for for Star Wars. Like there's the legends.
yeah,
there's so many legends, and then those are just kind of out the window because Disney decided to change their minds.
exactly. Yep,
And
True.
then,
Disney's thrown
mhm.
all of it.
Well, honestly, the what's it called? The legends isn't like the best for certain things, but it's not like terrible.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things that Disney definitely improved on, I think, with the Clone Wars, but there's some things I wish they would have kept.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, agreed.
because
Yeah.
there's a lot of
Yeah.
Mandalorian stuff, because the Mandalorians used to be like around like all throughout the Clone Wars and through the Empire and everything like that. But then they changed it into where now the canon is Mandalore is an old war-torn planet, and there haven't been Mandalorians for aeons or whatever.
Huh. That I did not
Oh,
know.
Hmm.
nice. Cool. Cool. Okay. Are you guys ready to move on for video game movies?
Video
Yes.
games.
These two categories are actually very timely because for books we just got the Wheel of Time show on
Oh, I
Amazon
heard about that
Prime.
too. And I
I've
I
heard,
never read those books either, but a lot of my friends
yeah.
did.
My brother-in-law is reading through them and he adores them. Like he said they're amazing. Um, but what I've heard from the show is that they change a ton from the books to make it more to that format.
Ah.
Um, but I mean, I'll have to watch it for myself and read the books, of course, as well. But yeah, I've heard a few different things. And then
Hmm.
also, it's very timely for video game movies because Uncharted just recently came out last weekend.
Oh, such a good movie.
You went to see it?
Oh, is that
Yeah,
based?
we
I
went
was
and saw
wondering
it
if
last
that was
night,
based on
actually.
on the video game, because
Yeah.
I didn't I haven't played the video game for that one, but I know it's a really popular one.
Hmm.
Yeah, I never did play the game, but it was a very good movie.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to watching it. Cool. Well, all right. So, who wants to go first?
So are we doing video games to movies, or are we just doing the best video games?
No, no, no. We're doing movie adaptations for this one.
Yeah, movie
So,
adaptations.
what are your
Okay.
worst and best
Um,
movie adaptations of video games?
let's see. Probably for me, one of the best ones that I have seen is The Witcher.
Dang, I didn't even think about that. Gosh, dang.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Nope.
I mean, and so like I know there was there was a lot changed from the game to the movie, as far as some of the design elements and a little bit of the storyline, just to kind of make it fit better.
Yeah.
But I mean, like as a whole, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and thought it was a very nicely done adaptation.
Nice.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen the first half of the first season, I think, or maybe the whole first season. But I've never played the games.
Fair enough.
I'm not sure. But the show is great. I liked it. Um, Dang, son. Yeah, I didn't even think about shows. Jeez. I think like shows are a better way to approach video games because of just how much world building video games do.
Yeah, and yeah, I agree.
So that's why Witcher kind of works a little bit. And I think they were planning something else. There was another show that was in development based on a video game, but I can't remember. Um, Dang. Okay. Cool. So that's your best, JT. You said
I would say that was my best one.
nice.
I mean, another honorable mention would be the Assassin's Creed movie.
Okay.
I thought that was fairly well done.
Nice.
I know it didn't do super well. A lot of people didn't really like it, but
I
I
liked
thought
it,
it was
but
good.
I
Yeah,
never played the games.
that's
See?
honestly probably one of my favorite video game series right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've played a good amount of the games, but I haven't seen the movie yet. I've been wanting to for years, but I still haven't been able to.
It's been out for like 5-6 years now.
I know, yeah. Oh
Come
my
on.
gosh, it never popped up on streaming sites. Like it never, caught my eye or it was never on my radar, at least,
Yeah, that's true.
heuristically. Um, but I mean, my goal is to hopefully find a way to watch it sometime. I mean, it's just like I even though I could buy it for cheap. I mean, I think it's like $7, but
Yeah, it's not
I
expensive
just,
anymore.
I mean, once I get it, I'd feel bad for throwing it away if I don't like it.
That's true.
I'd rather temporarily own it. I mean, I could give it to you, JT, if you wanted it, if I wanted to play it.
I mean, I'm not. I'd be okay with it. I'll give you $5 for it.
There you go. Perfect. Losing $2. Awesome. No, that's cool. Yeah, I want to try and watch that sometime. Yeah.
Probably one of the worst one. Oh, actually, I can't even say it because I never really finished it, and I never played the game. But I think
Wait,
they
for
tried.
Assassin's Creed?
No,
But it's still your
no, no,
favorite? No, I'm just kidding.
no. Didn't they try to make a World of Warcraft movie?
They did.
Yes, that one was actually really good. I liked that one.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I really liked that one. I was waiting for the second one, but they never seemed to do a second one.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought it bombed, but
I think it did, but I mean, honestly, like, I mean, Exhibit A for Jackie. I mean, if you've probably played the games, you probably could have, could appreciate it more. I had never played the game, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I mean,
played a little bit of the games, but not enough to know
yeah,
that
you're
much
good.
about the thing.
I never got into the game, so when it came out with the trailer, I was like, okay. I just never
yeah,
interested
it's like
me.
okay, yeah. All right,
Yeah,
fair.
yeah, cool.
But there's also all the Tomb Raider movies, the
Mhm.
video game from that one. I
Mhm.
forgot exactly like how many there are, but because I didn't watch all of them, I've only
Yeah,
seen a few.
I think there's with Angelina Jolie. I think there were three. I think there was
3?
three or four. 3 or 4
Oh
of the
wow,
movies. The movies. Um,
interesting.
I think I'll have to check. I have to check my source on that.
I felt those are like 6.
Let me see.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look up right now.
Look it up.
But there's
Let's see.
also Sonic the Hedgehog, which I
Holy
think that
crap,
one gets
man.
an honorable mention because they
Oh,
changed their model for
Yes,
Sonic.
honorable mention.
yeah.
Honorable mention.
They
Yes.
appeased the fans because it looked unnatural. Then they made it more like the video game. And I didn't actually watch it, but I wanted to go watch it in theaters. to support them for their decision because I'm like, yes, we need more of these
Yes.
people.
I made sure to
I
do
know
that.
what's going
I especially going. I went with someone who was a big Sonic fan too.
Hmm.
And it was so much fun because he was telling me all the different, that movie's filled with references, like really good references to the Sonic games. So I very much appreciated it watching it with him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how about that? Wow. Okay, so to confirm about the Tomb Raider movies, there were two with Angelina Jolie, and then there's a random one, and then there's another that was I think Japanese, fully Japanese movie for it, and then like it was made by a Japanese movie studio, and then there was the new one with Alicia Vikander in 2018.
Oh, okay. That one, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So, anyways, that's just to confirm that. Okay, cool. So, well, what are we on now? Okay,
This is
so
also technically Detective Pikachu
yes,
because that
Detective
one came out around the same
Pikachu.
time. But
I thought that was good.
I didn't
Yeah.
watch that one either.
In the beginning, I still haven't watched it yet. I want to, because I want to be on board with the Super Smash Bros. Cinematic universe that's coming out.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm all
that's
for
true.
it.
Yeah, because they're making a Mario movie with Chris Pratt voicing Mario.
I heard about
I heard
that.
about that. Yeah.
Yep. We heard another murmuring of its next stage in development or something like that. I don't know. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, it was a news report confirming that Chris Pratt was not going to be using an Italian accent.
Lame.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea. I don't know.
And then I watched the trailer for the second Sonic movie, and that looks amazing.
Hmm.
I'm so excited for it. Anyways, who's what are we on?
You.
Me
Yeah, you.
for both of them? Okay.
Sure.
All right. I'll start with worst. I think worst. Crap, I need to look at my list again. So I actually went through and made sure of everything that I had seen.
So you don't have it
Um,
memorized though?
no. Okay, the ones that I have seen, I've seen the old and new Mortal Kombat movies.
Oh yeah, I had those
Oh, I
too.
forgot about those.
There's.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Then I've seen the old and new Tomb Raider movies. They made a movie Hitman based on those video games.
Mm.
And then the Resident Evil movies I've seen.
Oh yeah,
I haven't
I
seen the
forgot about
newest one.
those.
I haven't seen Welcome to Raccoon City, but I've seen all the other ones.
That one looks really good.
Yeah, and there was Doom, of course. And then I've seen Prince of Persia as well.
Oh yeah, that one was
Oh
good. I like
yeah.
that one. That one is a
Mhm.
good one. I completely
Yeah,
forgot that was a video game.
I
yeah.
did too.
I kind of grew up with that one, so I really like it.
Yeah, my uncle
Um,
really liked those games, and he had them on the
nice.
PS2.
That's awesome. There was also Rampage, that one with Dwayne Johnson with the giant gorilla and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
That's actually based off of an old arcade game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about
And
that.
yeah,
Hmm.
then I have Sonic. So those are the ones that I've seen. Okay, so going through this, okay, my worst one is probably Hitman. I that's one that I've actually seen recently. I watched it probably a month ago. And it was so meh. It was so meh.
Hmm.
It was lukewarm to the
Mhm.
Lucas warm. It was, I mean, yeah, it happened. Things just, happened in the movie, and I was just like, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just so weird. I mean, even I was doing research on the video game series, and the video game series was even like, okay, this is weird. I mean, yeah, I think I'm more of a fan of world building in video games, and like if you start connecting things a lot, but Hitman doesn't seem to be doing that. I mean, anyone who's listening, please correct me if I'm wrong. I'd love to know more details about this, but the movie was it was such a B movie. Yeah, I'd say it's like the same film quality as the second Ghost Rider movie, but the thing is that I really really like the second Ghost Rider movie just because of Ghost Rider. So that's the thing. But I didn't know Hitman at all before that. That would probably be my worst one. My top one, I would say, is the newest Tomb Raider movie.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember going to see that one, and it was just refreshing, man. I mean, I had seen why am I blanking on her name now? I literally say it. Oh, Angelina Jolie.
Oh yeah.
The older ones, I had seen those like once each a long time ago, and they were cheesy, but I mean that was the time.
Yeah.
But this one was like really good. It was really really well done. It touched on a lot of the aspects of Tomb Raider that made it what it was, but it wasn't over the top. It was done in a very well done way.
Mhm.
And I'm kind of a low key fan of Alicia Vikander. She does a really good job in that movie, and then she also was in the newest Jason Bourne movie, and then also she was in Man from Uncle, which is one of my guilty pleasure movies as well. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, that kind of made it for me. It was very well done.
Huh, all right.
But a very high honorable mention is like Sonic and whatnot. So
That's a good one.
I mean, I really did enjoy that one.
There was also
Yeah.
Tekken. When you said Mortal Kombat, there was also Tekken.
Yep.
That
There's also
one was
Tekken.
awful.
Yep.
I mean, it was cool seeing characters there, but
Yeah.
the movie was just like just the fighting movie. But the
Yep.
Mortal Kombat one, there's a channel called Cinema Sins, and he
Oh
goes through
yes.
all of the things that are wrong with the movie. And the thing I always remember about that one is like, it pans to this like pier where people are fixing ships and stuff, and he's like, everybody is welding something on this pier, and then you look. And literally every single person that is in the scene has a welder and is welding something onto a ship for no
Oh my
reason.
gosh.
That's awesome.
And that was for the older one?
Yeah, I think that's the older
Okay.
one.
Okay. Nice. Oh my gosh. I love the older Mortal Kombat because it embraces the cheese and it's so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
It doesn't
Gosh.
apologize for it.
hmm
Yeah. The new one was well done too, but it just wasn't wow. It was great, but it wasn't like wow.
I thought it was gonna be serious. I actually haven't seen it yet, but
It's good. It's
it
really
was on
good.
HBO Max, and I just didn't watch it. I wanted to, but then I was like, ah.
I mean,
Mm.
I can lend it to you. I've got it on DVD.
Oh, you have it?
So yeah, I have it. So
Oh,
you can
nice.
borrow it if you want. Um,
I will
I
have
mean,
to.
yeah, I still like it. It's just not my favorite.
Yeah,
Fair
that
enough.
makes sense.
Fair enough, my dude.
All right, one of you guys go.
I think that was pretty much it. We pretty much covered everything.
Oh, was it? Did we already cover everything? What
I
was
think so.
what was yours, JD? I can't. Did I miss it?
Yeah, you totally missed it. Apparently, because I was talking about the Assassin's Creed and The Witcher, and
Oh, that's right. Witcher and Assassin's Creed, and then or Jackie, you mentioned what was it?
I said, I don't really give my best and worst because I haven't
Okay,
seen too many. I just know about them. But there was
okay,
Doom, Sonic the Hedgehog.
okay.
What was the other one? There was one other one I
I
forgot.
remember. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Uh,
Well,
but
that's
yeah.
embarrassing.
come
That's
on,
embarrassing.
bro.
I didn't even recall any of that. Oh, that's cool. Nice. All right. Sweet.
Man, you kill me. You kill me sometimes.
I know. Yeah. Well. Ah, well, that was great. That was good. We
Well, yeah,
can.
I thought that was a very, very good discussion. I mean, there's just so much out there.
I know.
Yeah.
We need to do what would be a great challenge is if we do a best and worst of like totally original movies. So like movies that aren't based on anything. They're literally from the director's brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Those are hard to find. Those are very hard to find.
Okay.
There's a man whose names rhyme with Morge and it rhymes with Tukis.
I know, yeah. I mean, honestly, Star Wars might just be
Morge
the
Tukis.
number one. Oh goodness gracious! Ay.
But yes,
Man,
the original ones are hard to find.
yes, original ones are crazy hard.
Well.
All right. Well, JT, wrap us up for us.
Wrap us up. Have I ever told you guys about Sweden?
Oh no!
What do
Oh
you mean?
no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Have I ever told you about
You haven't.
Sweden?
You haven't. No, you haven't told us about Sweden.
I was like,
Okay.
maybe you have told him about Sweden if he's
Yeah, I
this.
was gonna say if he's like this.
Mhm.
All right. Well, let me tell you a little story about Sweden. So we have our main character, Little Billy. All right, Little Billy. You know, he's in like middle school. You know, so they're starting kind of world geography and kind of learning about some stuff. And teacher starts class off one day. Is like, hey, does anybody know where Sweden is? Or you know, who knows where Sweden is? And everyone raises their hands except for Little Billy, and Little Billy's just kind of sitting there. And teacher looks at him, and is like, Billy, you know, you don't know where Sweden is? He's like, well, no, I don't. And she's like, wow, go to the principal's office. So she kicks him out of class. And he goes up to the principal's office, and the principal is like, hey, little Billy, you know what's going on, man? What you doing here? And he looks at him and is like, well, sir, you know, I got kicked out of class because I didn't know where Sweden is. And he's like, wow, you don't know where Sweden is? You're expelled. Go home.
Oh my goodness.
Kicks him out of school. So he goes home. His mom's there. You know, they had called him prior to, so his dad came home from work and his mom came home from work, and you know they were there waiting on him, and they're like, "What in the world happened? You got expelled. What's going on?" And Little Billy's like, "Well, mom and dad, I was in class and I didn't know where Sweden was, and so she sent me to the principal's office, and then they expelled me because I didn't know where Sweden was." They look at him and was like, "Wow, you don't know where Sweden is? You're not welcome here anymore. Go." They kicked him out of the house. And they said, "No, you're done." They disowned him. So he's out on the streets, hobbling around. You know, it's been you know 3 days. He's out on the streets, so he's kind of dirty and disheveled. You know, he gets found by a police officer. Police officer's like, hey kid, what you doing on the streets? What's going on, man? And so he tells him a story. He's like, I was in class. I didn't know where Sweden was. I got expelled. Went home. My parents kicked me out of the house because I didn't know where Sweden was. He's like, wow, you don't know where Sweden is? That's it. I'm putting you on a ship. So he puts him on a ship and he kicks him out of the country. I don't think police officers have that power, but that's what happened. So he puts him on this boat and they ship out. And you know, after a couple days out at sea, couple of the crew members they find him and like, hey kid, you know what's going on? You know, hey, let's take you up to the captain and kind of figure out what's going on here because he's he's dirty and crying. He doesn't know what's going on. And then he goes up and talks to the captain. Captain's like, hey kid, what's happening? He's like, well, you know, he tells him his story. I didn't know where Sweden was. I got expelled. I got kicked out of my home, and then I got put on the ship and sent away and told I could never come back. He's like, wow, kid, you really don't know where Sweden is? Not keeping you on my boat. So he gives him a life raft and throws him overboard. So he's floating, he's floating. Eventually his helicopter kind of flies by and sees him down there. It's, you know, a Coast Guard helicopter, and then they pick him up and like, kid, what's going on? What happened to you? Why are you floating in the river or in the ocean? And at this point, he's just so exhausted. He's like, I didn't know where Sweden was, so I got thrown out of everything and thrown overboard. And They're like, man, I can't believe you don't know where Sweden is. So they strap him up with a parachute and throw him out of the helicopter. So he's floating down, and he lands, and he looks up, and he sees a sign that says, "Welcome to Sweden." And he's like, man, okay, I know where Sweden is. I can go home. I can tell my family. So he starts to walk across the street and bam, gets hit by a bus. Moral of the story is look both ways before you cross the street.
Oh my goodness. I knew that's where this was going.
I honestly didn't know where that was going.
That's the same one. I have
Appar-
another. It's called the Purple
appar-
Feather. I think I mentioned it to you, JT, but
You
it's
did.
exactly the same one, except it's uh about the purple feather. Like instead of the
Yeah.
kid going to Sweden, he picks up a purple feather, and
Yep.
yep, that's it.
Nice. I didn't know where that was going, and I guess neither did the little boy.
The little
No,
boy.
he did not. He did not look both ways before he crossed that street.
Exactly. Oh, geez. I honestly, when you said Sweden, there's another joke that I'll probably save for later, which is really good too. But anyways, you surprised me. You brought one out.
Wow, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, that was wonderful. Thank you,
That
JT.
was.
You're very welcome. I'll take my bows.
Yay.
Well, all of you listeners out there, I hope that you thoroughly enjoyed our discussion, and let us know in the comments if we were wrong about anything. Let us
If
know
we
what
were
you
wrong,
think.
if we were wrong
We're probably wrong
to
in a
tell you
lot of
that
things.
joke.
Yes, absolutely. But let us know your best and worst
Yes.
movie adaptations. And we look forward to seeing you next week
Yep.
on the Triple J Trail Mix podcast. Hey, yeah. Anyways, Drayden, hit him up.
Yeah. Make sure you click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, like our videos, comment if you want your best and worst video game / book movie adaptations. We'd love to know what y'all's lists are. I'm always a fan of people pulling it out of nowhere, a movie that I've literally never heard of before.
Reach.
But yeah, then also make sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We've got some extra content there in between the highs, try and get you going and keep you going. And yeah, just thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.